Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the channel. I'm going to show you what we're going to get working on today. Here we got an old Revo 3.3. Bought this thing when they first come out. Kind of beat it up, did some upgrades, and kind of neglected it. Haven't done anything for a while. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to tear it down, clean it up, find out any parts we need, and let's get to it. All right, so the place to start, I like to start, is I usually get the transmission out of the way, and I've already done that. You start with these 4 screws and kind of go through here, and then underneath the truck, what you're going to want to do is on your drive shaft right here, you got a small set screw right there. It pulls through, goes all the way through. Pull that out, slide those off. You'll unhook this, if you can see that, off your brake. This is right there, and then it comes up off the top, your bottom skid plate. Well, you can see that. Comes off. Alright, and then a good place to start is you got to make sure you get some tools. I like a good T-wrench. You know, most common sizes on these trucks is a 2mm and a 2.5mm. Traxxas makes a set of tools. Dynamite, I believe, makes a set of tools. Just get whatever you want and get to it. You're gonna want to make sure you got some long wrench or some long reach pieces. After you get the transmission out of the way, we can go ahead and get started on the front and just kind of work your way back. Sometimes you'll notice something else might need to come off before you work on to the next piece, but let's go ahead and get started. We'll start with this front bumper mount. It's 2.5mm screws. You sit those in there and pull those out. And one thing you'll notice on here is we have some other parts that are not Traxxas parts. One major one being this front bumper. This is an RPM front bumper. It's still on the stock Traxxas mount. We're going to swap that out for an RPM bumper mount and some RPM arms. One thing I like about RPM is they do have a lifetime warranty. So if you go ahead and bust them up and break them up, I believe you just mail them in or something. You know, I've never had to use that. I've never broken an RPM part. So if anybody has, go ahead and drop a comment and let me know what you got to do to get your RPM part swapped out. You swap around here to the bottom. We'll take this piece off here. And that just slides off. You got these 2 pins. They're also the pins for your lower A-arms. They slide in those holes right there. Good. Take this front piece off here next. It looks like, you know, it's been a hot minute since I've done anything with this truck. Looks like we got to take our front body mount off. Should be these 2 screws right there. They seem to be a 2.5mm. Pop this off the front. Oh, hang on. We got 3 screws here. One here in the back. Now we'll take this screw off the front here, and this goes straight into the front bulkhead, and it's just 1 screw after we get that other stuff off. Slide that out. This front plate comes off, and believe it or not, these monster trucks, they're pretty robust little pieces of equipment. We've abused the crap out of them and don't have to spend too much money on parts. I do tend to break it every time I go out, but if there's a weak spot on the truck, I'll find it. Every time I break these things down to clean it up, I end up having to replace that front bulkhead. But I think getting a little older, I tend to not be so hard on stuff. So those front screws on the shocks are a 2mm. These ones here on the back are 2.5. We'll slide these shocks out. Sometimes you just, doesn't take much, you just gotta roll them around the side. They fit in there pretty tight, which is what you want. Alright, so you see where we're at there. We got the shocks off. We got all this stuff off. Now we can come up here, take these out. They just go down into the bulkhead. And then I believe we should be good to flip it over, take the rest of the stuff off the bottom, and I'll show you what we got there. And then that front bulkhead should come off. And then we'll see where it's cracked. Pop that out. I believe that's just a little snap-in thing for to support the differential. So got to do here. Whoop. Got to take this off. So we got 3 screws on this plate. 1, 2, 3. We'll take those out. Alright, so there you go. Now we can start to sort of see the carnage, what we got. So this is one part of the front bulkhead. The bulkhead's split in 2 different pieces anyway, but what we have is we've got a mess. Thank you for coming to the channel. Next week we'll be taking off the rear bulkhead, the motor. If you like what you saw, go ahead and like and subscribe. We're just getting started. If you got any suggestions, go ahead and drop a comment and let me know what you do different. Thank you.